Yep. All right. Pej started a watch party. I see it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Sober Grind. We were not able to do it last week, so we moved it to Monday morning for you because we're that dedicated to you. Hopefully, you're dedicated to learning with us. So, as always, my name is Austin. I'm joined by the always amazing co-host,
I'm just Peg.
Just Pej, the amazing, the magnificent,
I can make like
the
a rap
wonderful
record
Pej.
called Just Peg.
Just Pej. Those will be the merch shirts that we put out. It's just going to be a picture of your face, and it's going to say Just Pej.
Hey,
All right.
our
So
topic about what's our topic about, Mr. Austin?
our topic today is about drug detox, and if that is enough to completely quit alcoholism or drug addiction, whatever your drug of choice is going in and entering just a detox, a 4 or 5, 7 day detox, however long, is that enough? Do you need treatment? Do you need residential? Do you need to go to meetings? We're going to get into all of this. So, Pej, let's just jump right in. Do you think detox is enough?
No, it's not enough.
Cut the episode. That's it. Just kidding.
Yeah,
Okay, why is it not enough?
there's a saying in recovery where they say it's easy to get sober, it's hard to stay sober.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people want to look at doing the work. I think a lot of people a lot of times a lot of people go to detox because there's things that has happened in their lives that have put them in a position where they're either experiencing major withdrawals from opiates or they might have a lot of life issues or health issues that surround alcoholism. But they think that if you go to detox, like they're going to get off of it. Not really. I don't think that they go in with the idea I'm going to have long-term recovery. A lot of people don't know what long-term recovery looks like because they've never really experienced it. There's only a handful of people that have really had long-term recovery, ended up losing their recovery, and then came back. And then even if they, when I say long-term recovery, I mean like staying sober for a while. There's a lot of different ways of doing recovery. Some people think that if you just stop doing drugs and alcohol, that you're fine, that you're good, and to each their own. I mean, if that's the way you roll and that's the way you think, fine, okay. But it takes a lot to really embrace sobriety, recovery, what it's really all about. It takes a lot to do that, and it's not an easy. It's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta turn my phone on too so I can look at the comments that come on that other page. Sorry.
So let's explain what detox is to someone that maybe hasn't gone to a treatment center yet, or even a parent or loved one that's watching right now. So what is the detox process like, and what kind of comes next? What comes after detox that you recommend to help sustain lasting recovery then?
I mean, the simplest forms of description, there's different types of detox. There's subacute and there's acute.
Mm-hmm.
Some are in a treatment setting and some are in a hospital, depending on the person's medical condition. Sometimes people need like medical treatment. They need to be inside of a hospital where they're overseen by a doctor and because they have health conditions that are life threatening. Now some people that go to, let's say, for example, a treatment center to get detox, well, obviously the first thing that happens is they come in, they're seen by a doctor, they're given comfort medications sometimes, and then they're also prescribed medications to start the detoxification process so that they can have less withdrawals, less pain, and a time of resting and being able to come back to a normal state.
Mm-hmm. And so what are the next steps that you would take after that?
Well, what's interesting is a lot of people these days are going to detox, and they think that that's it. Like they just need to go get detox, and then they can go back into their respective lifestyle and wherever they're going. And that's not really the case. Like most people that just go to detox, I have only seen like maybe a couple that have just gone to detox and then gone back into their world and their lives and been able to stay sober. But I mean, there's a lot that goes with that. Some people continue to go see a therapist. Some people actually need to be in a group setting, need to be in a safe environment, because if they go right back to wherever they lived and whatever they were doing, most likely they are going to be, those thoughts will come back, the feelings will come back, the ideas will come back. Some people will start calling their old friends. Some people, it becomes the lion's den too. Some people drank at home, so they come in detox, they go right back home. Well, what'll end up happening. A lot of people will continue on their recovery with 12-step, like going to into the 12-step community and actually becoming a part of that community, surrounding themselves with the sober support group. But it takes a lot, and then there's a lot of work to be done if you're in the 12-step community. There's you basically come to terms with your alcoholism, with your addiction, and you get to look at like what it was that took you where it took you, see what all of your issues are, what you want to work through, develop a relationship with something greater than yourself. Because real here, at the end of the day, most people that are addicted to heroin or alcohol or drugs in general, that becomes their higher power. They'll do anything for the drugs and alcohol, so it becomes a lifestyle. And point of detox is obviously to get you off. Like, in a perfect world, anybody that goes to get detoxed off of drugs or alcohol, you would think they're going to go and detoxify their body and then carry on and stay off of it because it hasn't been working. This is ruining life, So, but what happens is people go and the fog starts to settle and clear. Opiate addicts, it's really, really, really hard. Like opioids, they captivate you. Like when you know the feeling of like what oxycodone or like heroin or even fentanyl, what it feels like, it's the ultimate euphoria. It takes you out of right here, right now. It kills all the pain, be it mental, physical, emotional, whatever. So whatever you got going on, like when you've done opiates, especially like if you're an intravenous user, if you actually shoot dope and it becomes a way of life, like sure, when you're coming down and you haven't had it for a few days and you're experiencing mad withdrawals, that you need to go and get detox. So that's why you see a lot of opiate addicts that are seeking detox, right? They'll come in. I get a lot of phone calls every single day that so-and-so, even from the person themselves, that I need to go to detox. Like I got to go to detox. And they're in a very fragile, vulnerable state, and they're ready and they want it and they really, really want it. And then you help them get in. And it's amazing to watch the process of how they change within a few days. They come in, they're beat down, they're dying. Like you can just see, like they're falling apart. You get them going with the doctor. You get them to see the doctor. You get the medication. You have the staff overseeing them, and it's amazing the process of watching somebody and how when the fog starts to clear, how their mentality and their behaviors start to change too. Now, some people when they're done, they're done. So through that process, they're very willing, they're very open, and they say, whatever you say, I'll do, because anything I've been doing hasn't been working.
Yeah.
That's only like a handful of people. More often than not, the majority of the people that go into that process will end up having old ideas come back in, think they got enough information, they think like, okay, I got this stuff out of me, I can do this on my own, and their strong will end up saying, I'm just going to take off. Detox was all I need.
So, thank you for that. So,
straight up, I'm going to say this right now. They don't stay sober. The majority that I've witnessed and seen do not stay sober just from going to detox. This is fact. Like I'm not just making this stuff up. This is real.
Yeah. I want to highlight, Ashley commented here. It said, thank you so much to Beginnings. I have 203 days sober today. Y'all rock. You rock, Ashley. That's amazing. Congratulations on that. And if anybody wants to leave us a comment, share your story, share your experience with detox, if it worked for you or what worked for you to sustain long-term recovery, let us know in the comments and we'll shout that out. If you have any questions, let us know as well and we'll answer those live. Go ahead, Pesh.
Keep it going. Keep it going. So, I like what Rod said. Avoid getting sick doesn't mean you're not sick.
Very true. So after that initial brain fog clearing, the clarity after actually detoxing, what do you recommend the next step to take would be? How long does it actually take to, and what does it take to form lasting sobriety, to change the mental side of how you view everything, to find that higher power than yourself, whatever that may be to you? What's kind of the timeline there?
Studies show that anywhere from 60 to 90 days, somebody is finally getting past. There's different stages. So like
Yeah.
there's the denial stage of denial. There's the contemplate, like the pre-contemplative stage. There's the contemplative stage. There's the stage of like readiness, like when you're actually ready. And then there's like just the willingness, like to continue and keep going. What I see a lot of times is there's people that are in their 30s and 40s, and because they're a little bit older, they're a little bit more worn. Like they've been, their lives have like taken a major downward spiral to the point where now they have this sort of readiness, and they'll take anything that's in front of them. Then there's people that make excuses, and some people truly really have to get back to their lifestyles. But there's people that say like, I got to get back to my job, I got to get back to my kids, I got to get back to my family. Well, if you've been like addicted to drugs, you were never really there for your job or your family. You weren't able to really function at your job. Who knows if you would have been able to hold that job, let alone be a parent for your kids. I saw a woman today in Faces of Opioids. There's a Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
She wrote, holding her kid in her hand, okay? And she said, 12 days today, no H, right? Which, like, it warms my heart to see that. It really warms my heart. Just looking at the little kid's face and just thinking about what kind of environment that little kid was around. And so I don't know if the woman went and detoxed or whatnot. I'm surprised CPS hadn't come and got her kid. But I just told her, I responded to her, I love this, keep it going. So what's the keep it going part? The keep it going part is truly getting the recovery that you're gonna need for long-term sobriety. You can't just come and get sober for a minute to just stop and stay stopped. There's a lot of work that goes into it. So what does people need to do? If you're in a treatment setting and you're going for detox, keep it going. Stay in there for as long as you can. If it's not the appropriate place, if it's a place that your insurance cuts out and they kick you out, then you're in the wrong place. Like there's a lot of places that are truly compassionate to your needs and know that you're not doing well, and they will continue to work with you. They'll help you. I know Beginnings does it. I know many other treatment settings that'll do it. I truly love that. This isn't just about coming and detoxing to get sober. This is about what's on the back end after detox. Like, where's your head after that? How do you think you can do, stay sober on your own when you couldn't before? You come in, you detox, you turn your will and your life over to the hands of the detox staff, but then keep it going and stay in the recovery process. And if you can't afford treatment, and you go to let's say one of these county-funded detox programs, no pain, no gain. Straight up, like you may not have the means to be able to get on Suboxone. You may not be able to carry on with you might have to really actually experience that pain, but that's what comes with doing opiates. That's what comes with drinking. And truly, when it comes to drinking and benzos, for example, unfortunately, it's deadly. You do want to get a medical detox in those cases if you have alcohol poisoning or if benzodiazepine. If you're on those, there's a great possibility that you could have seizures and you can die. So you got to do everything in your power to be able to get detox. Whether you go to the hospital, go to treatment, or whatever you can do, just make sure that you are being overseen by some kind of medical staff or assistance.
Yeah. I want to backtrack a little bit to what you said just a moment ago, and in that, there's a lot of stigma attached to this industry, treatment centers, and people thinking that it's just a money-making thing, that they don't truly care about the people. And I want to talk about and ask you your opinion on how to find a good detox and treatment center. Obviously, we support and love Beginnings, but maybe other people out there. How do you differentiate between a terrible treatment center that just stacks the bodies, doesn't care about the individual person, versus finding a detox and treatment center that actually works with the person, cares about their livelihood, and sets them up for lasting recovery? How do you find and differentiate? What questions do you need to ask? Where do you start?
It's such a good question that you ask, and it's so complex because you have to understand I'm in the treatment world. So like when I'm working in the treatment world, you get to know who the good players are. You get to know who the shady shadesters are, right? Like you
Yeah.
get to know that. So like you ask me, and I'm never going to sit there and say they're bad guys. Although there are a few of them that I would definitely like to run their names through the mud. But I figure the spirit of the universe always shows itself. You know,
Sure.
the dirt always comes out in the wash, and if people are bad players and they're doing shady stuff, it will catch up to them. That's just the way it is. I believe that everything works out. Now, if you don't know anything about a treatment center, a lot of people these days obviously will go on Google or on Yelp and go and read reviews of the place. Now, just because you go and look at reviews on Google or Yelp and you see like there are some people that went through that center and they may have had a bad experience or they're saying a lot of negative things about that place, doesn't necessarily mean that the place is horrible or bad. There's a lot of people that go into treatment and because they're not ready, they may act out or they may be a certain way or they may do certain things that they feel like their needs aren't met. So then they'll go and they'll taint the name of the place by saying negative things about them. And
Yeah.
obviously, like when it goes into Yelp and Google, it gets stuck in that system, and that's what's seen by the general public. So
Right.
you can't really go off of reviews either. Although like some of them are categorized by stars, and you see there's more good reviews as opposed to bad reviews. What you want to do is you want to talk to people that know, that really truly call me, ask me. I'll show you the good players. Like if you want to know what a good treatment center is, like there's a lot of people that have, and exactly what you said a second ago. A lot of people think that treatment centers are just these big money making machines, and truly,
Yeah.
some of them truly make a lot of money. However, with the way reimbursement rates are and with the way insurance companies are working these days, there's not a lot of money being made through insurance like there used to be. So there's overhead. There's treatment centers that have to pay their staff. They have to supply the housing. They have to supply all of the different things that go in, from the food to if it's a residential treatment center, it's like it's not cheap to facilitate and run an organization like that. But there's like what I look for is when I work with different various treatment centers, because I have a lot of relationships with many of them, is who's in it for, like who's got their heart in the right place.
Mm.
I don't just go off a Yelp review or a Google review.
Yeah.
I go off of getting to know the people that are overseeing this operation. Are they just business people, or are they truly people that some of them are in recovery, or they've had loved ones in recovery and they've dedicated and devoted their lives to helping people? You got to vet people. So ask me. I'll tell you what I think. I'm not going to tell you. I mean, if I see that you're going towards something totally negative, I'll say probably not a good idea. I would try this center or that center. So there's a lot of good people out there that are helping in treatment. I have worked for several treatment centers. More importantly, the type of therapy and the type of therapists and the type of professionalism that the people that I've surrounded myself around and met over the years and have the glorious opportunity of working with on the front lines and behind the scenes and in a clinical sense. There's a lot of good people that are experienced, that are providing good treatment for people. That's what you want to look for. You want to look for a place that's accredited, a place that is like that. It's definitely up to they're up to par with everything that they're supposed to be doing as far as providing good treatment services. And there's a few out there. There's a few out there.
Just a few. Thank you for the amazing resource that you are and provide for so many people, Pej. So what other topics can we discuss on this? What other things can we get into about detox not being enough, setting up for lasting recovery? Any recent stories or info come to mind?
This is what I can say. Like, I believe that every person that becomes addicted to drugs or alcohol, at some point in their time, has the opportunity to get well. Whether they're doing it because they have psychological issues, or some have become dependent upon certain opioids because of some sort of pain or injury. I believe that if you get hooked on something and you have a hard time you know it's become a problem for you in your life and you want to change that, like even if a small part of you wants to change that, but the other part of you is constantly saying, not yet, not yet, soon, I'll do it. Just know that not only is the help out there, not only is there good people out there that can help you, angels, if you will, but you have it in you. You have the ability in you to be able to go and not just get detox, but to go all the way and completely transform and change your life. I believe that if you're not shot out and you're able to still put words together, you have the ability to take recovery by the horns and really, really do it 100%. If you were a skilled, seasoned, veteran, drug using, alcohol drinking type that could drink anyone under the table or, just used until the wheels fell off, then you can take those same energies that you would put into going and obtaining drugs or going and drinking at the bars or partying it up. If you can put those same energies into your recovery, you can get well. And I believe in every single person that comes into the path of recovery, that if you just give yourself to recovery, truly, like not half-ass, not half-measured, but straight up all the way. If you go in head first and dive in, there's always hope. You will make it. You can make it. The only sad part is that the reason we have such a high epidemic of overdoses, I mean, the majority of people that are overdosing, it's not like it was their first time overdosing.
Right.
It's not like they've never been to detox. They've been. A lot of them have been to detox already. So that means that at some point in their life, they've made the attempt to go and get well. The only thing about going and getting well, it should not be temporary. It should be getting well permanent, like getting well and like transforming and working through your stuff, whatever it may be. I know there's deep-rooted stuff. I know the majority of the people that have drug and alcohol issues have major, major trauma. I don't know what your trauma is, but I guarantee you if you come into the path of recovery, you will meet people that will match your trauma or people that will understand your trauma and they'll show you how they got through theirs so that you can get through yours.
Powerful, powerful stuff there. I want to end on that high note there, unless anybody has any final questions or comments while we wrap down here. But
Palmer just asked a question. He said, hey guys, curious what your take is on social detox programs. I've worked with a lot of guys coming out of similar programs where they successfully detox without medication. I'm a big advocate for detox in any fashion. Just curious on what your take is. That's a really good question. So, like back in the day, there used to be methadone clinics, right? Mm-hmm. Before Suboxone was a thing, right? Suboxone became a different alternative, something that you can get on unless you're doing maintenance for long term, something that you can get on and then kind of just go through not having so much pain and you're supposed to go anywhere from 3 to 7 to 10 days and then get off and be off, right? Mm-hmm. But before methadone, you just get hooked on it and you either use methadone to get off of opiates or you use methadone to stay on methadone maintenance, which truly like a detox of methadone is even more harder and excruciatingly more painful than a heroin detox. Now, I believe like in a social detox program, like if you're just going through it, no pain, no gain. You won't die if you're detoxing off of opiates with no medication. But you can also make a decision within that time if you truly, truly don't like the way your life has been going, since you got to go through this pain on this one time, for a few days, go through with it, tough it out, work through it, and never turn back to doing that again. Or, obviously, like there's some, how many phone calls I get of people that have Medi-Cal or Medicaid or Medicare on a national level or in California that they can't, like there's truly no deep, like medical detoxes that I know of, at least in Orange County, that'll provide you with the kind of medicine that you need to be able to get off. So no pain, no gain. Like sometimes you've just got to tough it out and go through with it. I believe that if that's all you got, that's what you should work through and never go back. Yeah. So I like what Wes's question was. Sometimes you got to do.
Yeah, I have another question here from YouTube. I apologize in advance. I'm going to butcher this name. It's a YouTube name. Akunzada asks, if a person uses 7 years of heroin and then he quits for 9 to 10 months, is there any withdrawal symptoms that remain? So it seems 9 to 10 months, and he's also just using weed apparently, but 9 to 10 months after quitting heroin, do any withdrawal symptoms last that long?
Physical, no way. Physical, no way.
Mm-hmm. So if you are experiencing something, Akunzada, I apologize again if I'm pronouncing that wrong, seek medical attention. It also maybe could be related to the marijuana use as well. If you are experiencing some sort of withdrawal symptoms, watch that very carefully and reach out for help.
I mean, some people won't agree with me, but I don't care what some people would agree with me on or not. I'm going to say this right now. Just because you quit doing opiates, if you're still doing marijuana, you're not really in recovery. But that has nothing to do with this question. His question was, are you still experiencing withdrawal symptoms? And I said, physically, no way. Maybe emotionally. Maybe that's why you still need the weed, to try to not have being an opiate addict is a whole other world. If you don't know what it's like, if you haven't experienced it, you don't realize how much of a, I don't want to say a bad word, but how much of a mind F it really truly is. It captivates you.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that's always on your mind if you don't get past the knowing what it can do for you physically.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you everyone so much for your questions, your constant feedback. We very much appreciate it. We hope this is a helpful podcast, live stream, and resource for you. If you learned something today, if you want to help support us and support what we're doing to reach more people, we would very much appreciate it if you could write us a 5-star review on iTunes, or just share this video with someone that you think it'll benefit. That's why we do this. We want to help as many people as possible. We've been doing this for over 2 years now. It's been an amazing ride, and we need your help to spread it to the masses. So if you could write us a review or share it, it would mean the world. If you need help with recovery for yourself, for your loved one, a spouse, someone that you know, you can reach out to Pej, you can reach out to myself on Facebook. You can visit our website, sobergrind.com, and listen to any of the past episodes. We have forums on there. You can reach out to us as well. You can send us an email right from there, and we'll get you the help that you need. Lastly, this podcast is made possible by Beginnings Treatment Centers. They've sponsored this podcast and made it possible for the last 2 years that we've been doing this. You can reach out to them 24/7 at 877-577-9382. Or you can go to beginningstreatment.com and even live chat with an agent on there, and they will get you the help that you need. Pej, thank you again so much.
One thing I have to say real quick.
All right.
The gentleman that asked that question, I do have to go back. Brandon Bennett made a good point. He said definitely sleep still greatly affected up to 2 years. However, it's case by case. So that would go back to the physical, and sometimes more the mental. I think a lot of times when you get off of opiates, it's very, very difficult to gain a normal sleep pattern. There's a lot of people that have a lot of high anxiety or just sleepless nights. So definitely in that, you do want to try to see what you can do about regaining, some kind of normalcy in your sleeping pattern. But other than that, this has been a great show. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. And I look forward to seeing you all very soon again.
All right. Sober Grind.